So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a month by month update of my 2024 that I've been doing, and this is kind of like the last month, like April, or getting into April I suppose, so most of March as well. So if you want to see how that's been, and we can have a chat about some other things as well, then keep watching. No, I haven't got another dog. I wouldn't just do that without any warning. I'm not a clickbait kind of girl. This is Kenny. You might remember him from other videos that I've done. You just kind of have a little chill on the sofa. He's so cute. He's 6 months old, and he is a pedigree Jack Russell. Granny and Po tell me, and he's technically, I suppose, my furry brother, but we've been looking after him because basically my mum and dad are away with James, my brother, and Nikki, his wife, and they've gone to Bologna, and I actually think they're in Florence today, which I'm sure is a lot warmer than what it's like here at the moment, because it's quite grey and miserable, isn't it, Kenny? And obviously they've got 3 dogs, and James and Nikki have got 2 dogs. So I have 3 kids, 2 cats, 3 rats, and a dog. So typically I'm not always the person that you can bring 4 dogs to, because I wouldn't be able to manage. But Nikki's mum is looking after Bear and Nico, which are my brother's dogs, and then there's Gino and Tilly. And then my mum was she was going to have this little rat bag too, but my mum was fretting because he's only just turned 6 months old, and puppies are hard work, like notoriously, aren't they? It's not always an easy thing to do. And she calls him the cursed child. I keep looking back. Can you see him? I think he is in shot there. She calls him the cursed child, and she says that he's like really naughty, but I know this is going to make you fuming, Mum, but he's been like so good here. He gets on really well with Merlin. Merlin's just chilling in the kitchen at the moment. Merlin does sometimes look at me, and Merlin's got those dog eyes, you know, where sometimes you see like the whites of their eyes, and he's got really expressionate eyebrows, and sometimes he's just like, what have you done? But they play really nicely. We went on a big walkie this morning, and he just follows me wherever I go, into the toilet, wherever. Like, I came in here, he was asleep on the sofa, and I thought, I'll just come in and film in here so I'm not disturbing him. But the second I came in and sat down, he was like, excuse me, lady, where are you going? So we've got him at the moment. I think he goes home tomorrow, but I don't actually even know when they're home. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. He's just gone to go and find Merlin, I think. But yeah, so we've had him these past couple of days, and it's been nice, but there's loads of updates, and it's funny actually, because I was thinking before, like when I come to film my videos, like what am I going to talk about? I don't just want to sit here and go blah, 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 blah. Although sometimes I still do, don't I? But I was thinking sometimes, and I think it's the season of life that I'm in, and also the fact that I'm a mother, is that sometimes months of my life aren't always inclusive of my progression, or maybe what I wanted or hoped or dreamed for myself, because there are people in my life that I really, really love, and there's a few things that have just sort of, I felt like I've kind of gone to the wayside a little bit in the last month or so, but I've actually not minded it, if that makes sense. So the first thing, and massive thing, is that obviously I didn't achieve this, but Mark did. He ran the Manchester Marathon, and we went to go and support him for the day while he was there. So if you follow me on like Instagram, or you might have seen it on my TikTok as well, I did like a little mini reel of like our day. He did so well. He did it sub 4, so it's on the back here. He did it in 3 hours 51 minutes and 12 seconds, and that's with an ongoing injury that he's had for about 5 or 6 years. So we were very proud of him. But if you have a partner, or you have trained yourself, or like you've got someone that you love in your life that has trained for a marathon, you'll know how much time and effort and work it actually takes. And the last last 6 weeks, I would say, before it was a lot of the longer practice runs, so he'd always do them on a Sunday. Are you back, sir? Is it my feet? So he'd be gone for, you know, 3.5 hours every time. And we'd all just kind of got into a routine that for a large chunk of the day on a Sunday, because obviously he'd do warm up before all of that as well, and then like he'd go and like, because he's got an injury, I'd always be like, go and get some, we got him some Epsom salts, and he's always had like a hot bath afterwards, and then puts ice packs on in the evening. But it's been his dream, so we've been supporting him as a family, as you would, and that has been a really, really big part of the last month. And then seeing him achieve that was so emotional. I've just been like, I had a score before when I ate some lunch, and I was looking at all of the London Marathon like TikToks and reels and little clips that I've seen, and I genuinely well up every time and get so emotional, because when you've seen someone go through it personally, you're just so full of admiration, and I'm so proud of him. So that's been like a really, really big thing and like a huge focus, because you know, when you're a team, sometimes one of you takes on a bit of extra slack to support the other, however that might be. So like, as an example, he really, really supported me through the loss of my granddad. I feel quite emotional. I think it's because I've been thinking about how happy he was when we finally saw him again after the marathon. But obviously, like, you know, I'm in such a better place about losing my granddad now, but obviously it still hits me. Like, I will always miss him, but I think I'm at peace and I've accepted it a little bit more. But Mark was really, really there for me, so to be able to like turn around and be the one that kept everything together in our family while he went off and trained for something that really meant a lot to him, I was really glad that I was able to repay that somehow, because he's just always been there, and I'm so proud of him. I've actually ordered, he doesn't know this, but he won't see this most likely, he watches Instagram and TikTok, but neither of us watch YouTube perhaps as much as what we used to do back in the day. But I've ordered this like big frame where you put your medal in, and then there's a gap for your like badge with your number on, and then also a gap for a photo. So I've ordered a photo of him to be printed, and I've got the frame coming, and I'm going to put it all together for him so he can put it up in his office, because he should be so proud of himself. Will he do another? I don't know. He was like, when he finished, I think it's a bit like when you have a baby and you're like, oh my god, never again, but then like already he's put his name down for the ballot in London. And he's done that for years, so it's very unlikely that it'll actually get him. I do think he'll do another one. He was like, I'm just doing it just like, you know, because you never know, do you? And I was like, yeah, whatever. I think he quite liked to do the Edinburgh one as well, but we were just so proud of him, and I love him so much. I think he's incredible for that. And if any of you ran it, or you've got someone in your family that is running either like Manchester or like Brighton, London, I know Edinburgh's coming up, there's Chester one as well, like amazingly well done to you. I just think you're all fantastic. And then, yeah, other things, obviously it was the Easter holidays. I took a break from YouTube, and it was actually very unintentional. And then it became intentional, but I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video, because I don't really want that to dominate why I'm making this, which will probably make more sense at the end. But yeah, the kids were off for 2 weeks. We didn't do anything like in terms of going away or anything at Easter. We tend not to, because Easter tends to be quite a family heavy time. So it's always about like spending time together. We had a big get together at my Auntie Debbie's house. Hello. And we all spent time together there. She did a big Easter egg hunt for the kids, and we see friends, and we have like friends over, play dates. I got to see some of my friends as well, and that tends to be what we do. But I found myself, I think, and I was saying this to Mark when we were talking about it recently, but with the age that the kids are now, when they were younger, they would do naps, or they would play more with, say, like toys together, and like they'd get all the toys out everywhere. But as your kids get older, toys feature a lot less frequently, and my children personally, because every kid is different, but Daisy and Stanley in particular need to be quite active, or it's not going to, you know, tick the box really. So we always have to be out and about doing something. Getting fresh air really helps, walking the dog really helps, like planning things like trampoline parks or going to see somebody, and that is what they really need. And I find it at the moment, we're in the stage where really when the kids are off, I am at home and I am fully in like looking after my children mode, because they, you know, they need attention, they need love, they need like to be safe and looked after and stimulated. And we've definitely had days where we watched movies or played on their Kindle Fire, like, you know, their iPad things, and we all have lazy days, but I find it particularly intense at the moment because they're all getting a bit older and they want to get out and do stuff. So that's kind of, I don't know what happened then, to be quite honest with you. I defended you before and I said you were a good boy, and then you do that. Just sit here and let me tickle your tummy. I know you like that. So yeah, I was kind of in the zone with the kids, and again that felt like I kind of went to the back burner. But then I don't mind. I can't make this video this week or this month and go, oh yeah, I progressed and I did this, that and the other, because there were certain things like I couldn't do, and I had like, by the end of the holidays, I had the most grown out nails, like half of my nails you could see like underneath, because they were so grown out, like probably about 5 or 6 weeks growth. Looked awful because I didn't have time. I hardly wore any makeup those weeks. I ended up with like some horrible bug after Easter in the first week, so I was out of action for a few days. I felt really poorly. There's a dog fighting with me at the moment. I don't know if you can see the little furry limbs. And then yeah, like I was a bit of a mess by the end of it. I was knackered. But in this past week, I've been like really busy with like my work over on Instagram. A lot of my brand work is mainly over on Instagram these days. I had a lot of stuff. I've still got things out for like approval and things like that, and like yeah, work's progressed fine. I managed to keep up with the gym fairly regularly. The only time I missed 2 slots because I was poorly, but I've been there this morning and I've been out and walked this little idiot down here, and Merlin this morning as well. So we're doing good on the steps front. I think we're on about like 17,000 steps today, and it's only 10 to 3, so we're doing well. And I need to kind of wrap it up really, because I do need to go and get the kids. But yeah, like the gym is still going strong. And I'm still like trying my best just to sort of like look after myself, and I'm trying to sort of see my body now as my home that I got for however many years I've got left. And obviously like when you live in a home, you tend to it, you care for it, you look after it, you clean it, you fix its problems. And it's kind of in the stage of life where I'm at now, because I think I always treated my body as like an extension of me, in the fact that it had to look perfect and be perfect, and I had to be attractive, and like I had to be super thin and this, that and the other, where in reality like I am aging. I'm 36 now. I feel like that's showing, and you know, my skin's changing, like my metabolism has definitely slowed down, I can tell, and my approach to things has changed. Like earlier on, a parcel was delivered and it was some bulbs from Farmer Gracie, which you might have heard of if you're into your gardening and stuff. And I feel like a few years back it probably would have been like more like, you know, clothes or makeup and this, that and the other. And don't get me wrong, I'm still interested in that kind of stuff, but I don't really buy into knew this. He's sniffing the camera. He wants to see what the hell I'm talking to. He's like, why are you talking to that and not me? Yeah, I don't buy into as much anymore, like the whole like I need new clothes, I need new this, I need new that. Obviously it's really nice to treat myself and this, that and the other, but I feel as I'm getting older, my priorities have shifted. And I think when I was younger, especially on here, you feel this intense need to fit in and keep up with the Joneses, because like that's the kind of environment that exists online, not just for people that consume but also people that create, because you always wonder that, you know, you don't fit in and you're not relevant or you're not good anymore and your content's not very good. Whereas I've been trying to just focus on stuff that brings me joy, and hopefully people around me will sort of follow suit and also enjoy it. But yeah, that's where that was a bit long-winded, wasn't it? Other things that has happened, Daisy's just turned 8, which is always wild to think about. Always, they're growing so quickly, and I feel like I've been on here for so many years now, and I've documented so many different elements of my life, like the good, the bad, the ugly. And I even saw a woman the other day where I was buying some balloons for Daisy's birthday, and she came up to me, we were both waiting for them to be blown up, and she was like, I love your videos, by the way, and I'm watching again with her third, and she had this gorgeous bomb, she looked so lovely, and she was just saying like really enjoyed them, and I used to do a bit in them called the good, the bad and the ugly of pregnancy, and God, I wrote those, and it was part of Channel Mum, and worked with a midwife, and I filmed them when my own baby, which was baby Daisy, was napping, and it'd be really, really hard to do because I had to really churn them out to hit this deadline, and it was really difficult to do that with a child in school. I'd have to do school run every day. I was really limited into what time I had, and then I'd be looking after Daisy, who still had additional needs at the time, and we were always back and forth in hospital, and it just sort of struck me how much has changed, and you know, she's in that era now where like her birthday presents were like a guitar, because she started off ukulele and they advance up to guitar at school, and you know, she's got like wireless headphones and books and like clothes and knickknacks and hair accessories and all these things. Like she's got a new bike, and all of her presents are so far away from what they used to be. Like she used to be about like a baby dolls and this, that and the other, and she's really starting to grow up now. Like she's got a few crop tops in a collection, and she's so beautiful, she's so special, and she had a really lovely weekend. We had a sleepover with 3 of her best friends, that was on Friday, so we picked them up from school. It was intense and chaotic and wild and funny and lovely, but I was absolutely exhausted on Saturday. So we did that, had a really nice time, and then we did like all the usual Saturday stuff like gym, netball, football, this, that and the other, homework, chilled on Saturday night, and then yesterday, Sunday, was her birthday. And it just flew. We had a really nice time. We just did what she wanted to do, and she just wanted to chill. She wanted to ride a new bike. The sunshine came out. We went out for dinner. We did birthday cake, and she really, really enjoyed herself. But it's just mad. And then next up, Bill's going to turn 12, and it's going to be his last year of being like a preteen, and then soon enough I'm going to be in the teenager era. And you know, Bill and Stan, they're doing so well. Like Stan is really getting into his football now. He's like an insane reader, so he's doing really well with like reading at school in particular. Like he's doing well across the board, but like he's just, if you sit and read with him, it's mad. And Bill, we had parents evening for, and he's just absolutely smashing it at high school, and he's like really happy. Like I'm not so fussed about where my kids are academically, so long as like they are enjoying themselves and they're decent humans, and I'm really fortunate that they are doing well academically. But more importantly is that they're like loved, they're celebrated by their friends, they enjoy themselves, they're kind humans, and I just feel like, oh wow, like I was worried about so many things with him starting high school because it's such a big level up, and I feel like, do you know what, I feel like I can rest a little bit now and just enjoy this stage until we have another huge change, which will probably be like when, I don't know, Daisy moves up to high school or something like that. Although I'm sure those of you with older kids will probably remind me that there's other stuff that's going to happen soon before all that. We've got cricket season starting up again, which will be crazy as it always is, but good fun. It's nice to do that with like friends, and we sit out, and when the sun's out and the kids are playing and we're like having a glass of Prosecco in the sunshine on a Friday night, it actually is bloody marvelous. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to like just being consistent and like continuing on and trying to have fun. But the one thing I really want to talk about, and I don't want to focus on this for too long, I don't want to drag you down, I don't want to bring a negativity into the space. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen me talk about all this already. Like, I've been doing this a really long time. I never intended for this to be my job. This was never who I was like set out to be. I had a job before all this, and doing this enabled me to be at home at a really crucial time of my daughter's life with like surgeries, hospital appointments and stuff, and it really gave us a gift, and I'm still able to do that today, and the privilege of that is never lost on me. I know that I'm really fortunate, but I also know that with luck and good fortune also comes a lot of hard work, and everybody tries their best at life. And you know, I understand that you can be the juiciest peach in the world, but there's always going to be someone that doesn't like peaches. And unfortunately, like, I know that too well. I've been bullied in the past, you know, offline and stuff. I know what life is like. I'm not naive to that, but it's been hard over the past few years, and probably got worse not long after Stanley is born. And you're probably wondering, shouldn't vlog anymore, shouldn't post as regularly anymore. And I think it's because I've had to take a step back, obviously from my own mental health, but also like because boundaries have been crossed, and I'm trying to protect my family, and like it's not worth the intrusion or the pain. But last week I had some pretty bad trolling. Not last week, the week before, sorry, while the kids are still off. It was really focused on me, my body, a group of people on a real like TikTok thing I posted, and it was really quite vicious. And at the time I had like a house with all the kids at home, I had Bill's friend round for tea, and I just thought, I can't focus on this right now. It was really like upsetting me, and I just tried to put it to the back of my mind. I was like, it's fine, just like ignore it, block it, it's fine, it's not you, it's them. But that night I cried, and I think I cried a lot of pent up upset that I'd had around for a very long time. There's been a few examples that I shared over on Instagram, just like increasingly like nasty, snarky comments, or I've had people message me about like my body constantly. I don't know why everybody's so interested in my body, because I'm not even that interested in it. But it's been difficult. I've had like someone say, oh, do you know that you've got lipedema because you've got fat legs? I've had people have a go at me because I wasn't as responsive the week of my granddad's funeral. I've had nasty comments around like my grief and all sorts, and you get to a point where you just start swallowing it, because that's what you're supposed to do, and it's like bad medicine, and you just have to swallow it down. But it's led me to feel quite silenced. It's led me to really like review how I am with people. It's led me to not trust people. I'm very wary, I just don't know what I did to these people. Like, I understand not liking people. Like, there are people I don't like, but I just don't interact with them, or I don't follow people like that. I feel like we're all old enough to know, aren't we, when we're being nice or unkind, and we're all old enough to know that when someone's not our cup of tea and how to like respond to that. And I think it's just gotten to a point where I massively understand that I'm accountable. I massively understand that I you know, owe people like honesty and integrity, and try and be a decent human being and use my platform positively, which I really try to do. But equally, I think I'm allowed to have boundaries. I'm allowed to have hopes and dreams for myself and aspirations. I'm allowed to want more from my family or for myself even. I can't even look at the camera because it's like, I don't want to get upset. Oh, someone's ringing me. But I think I just needed a break. I think this year started in a really difficult way for me. Losing my granddad was like horrific, and while I've made my peace with that, and I'm still seeing my nana and trying to look out for her and look after her and make sure I'm there for her, which has been amazing. It doesn't change the fact that like it really felt like it changed me, and I was really struggling. And obviously I've only been off, like, I've not been off my antidepressants for even a year yet, and I think I just needed to come on here and say I fully respect if people don't like me, but I also have boundaries, and I'm allowed to implement them. I'm allowed to say, no, I don't like the way you're talking to me, or say, no, I don't like the way you're acting towards me right now, or I don't want that negativity in my life. If people choose to talk about me elsewhere, then they're absolutely allowed to, but I just ask that you don't do it to my face. I am, a lot of people, when I mentioned it on Instagram, said you need to be firmer, like you don't owe people second chances. You're absolutely allowed to protect your peace, just block them. And I am from now on, like, as I said before, we're all old enough to know when we're not being kind, and I think anybody is aware of when they've overstepped a mark. And unfortunately, I can't keep just taking it. It's become really difficult, and I won't be talking about this again. I don't want to make this a huge focus of like my channel or anything like that, but sometimes I don't want to be silenced. I feel like I deserve to be able to stand up for myself, especially like I'm not a bad person, and I try really hard. There's a lot of things that I've gone through that I haven't brought online for various different reasons, and like I don't think anyone deserves this. But yeah, that's where I've been. I'm back. I've got a grocery haul coming. I'm going to do a favourites video. I really need to go and do the school run actually, but I just wanted to be honest, and I need to go and put this little terror in his crate so he doesn't go and ruin anything. But that's where I've been. Thank you if you watched this far. Thank you for respecting my boundaries, and hopefully I will see you all very soon.